Welcome you to Porch Talk. This is your host, Alan. I got Jared Kenney, the cornerman, with me. And once again, it's been another great week for sports. It was the biggest interview of our lifetime happened. Coach K is gone.
He's dead.
Elon Musk decided Elon Musk decided that he wanted to be the major stakeholder of Twitter. WrestleMania was amazing. Tiger Woods game time decision on the Masters, so there's quite a bit to cover. Where would you like to start?
We can start
first
right
off.
off.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm good, man. There's 2 times a year that I look forward to. Now at the end of March Madness, the Final Four, Augusta, the Masters, and then NBA and NHL playoffs start, and the other time of year is around September, October-ish when baseball playoffs are, football starting up, college football starting up. So this is I love this time of year.
There you go.
Loving it.
So, Titletown. Me and you both are fans of the Patriots. As far as Major League Baseball, I'm more of a Dodgers guy, but you're a Red Sox guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But I ain't never really had any beef with the Red Sox. I was always a big fan of Big Papi and the players coming through the Red Sox. And that's kind of the way it was for me with Major League sports. I was more of a player follower than a team follower. But I think that's the difference between coming from Alabama to where we practically worship college sports, and then New England area, it's all about the pro sports.
Right. Yeah. You said you're a Dodgers fan, not a Braves fan?
Braves would be my second favorite team. I like the Dodgers best.
Okay. Do you know who Justin Turner is?
Oh, yeah, it's my twin.
Okay. Yeah, I was just about to say, if you're a Dodgers fan, then fucking Justin Turner looks exactly like you, or you look exactly like Justin Turner. It's fucking unreal. It just clicked. I was like, Dodgers, Justin Turner.
My nephew, he was 9 years old, and so last MLB season, we were watching a Dodgers game together, and he was like double taking me and looking back at the TV, and he said, I didn't know you played for the Dodgers. How are you here and there? And I was, that's not me, Bubba.
Yeah,
thank you.
On like Dodgers gear, sunglasses, and like a hat.
Oh yeah,
you could be one of those those videos that you sign autographs and shit. And
all right,
people are going crazy.
So I mean, that's what I need to do. I need to get the whole get up. Okay, not only good for Halloween, but it could be good for this show. Okay, we got Justin Turner stepping in today to host Porch Talk.
Yeah, I love it. But I'm good to start with our sweet Prince Hasbullah. He did his thing, and Caleb Presley did his thing, and he took over the internet this weekend. Very sought after interview. Oh, it was a work of art. Someone put a quick verbal meme. There's a guy in the MoMA or the Louvre or something, and he's sitting there and he's on his phone. So you could screen fucking put whatever you want on his phone. It's someone put the Hasbullah interview on the phone, and it's like, I'm literally watching this in the Louvre right now. LOL, and 60,000 retweets or whatever. It's funny.
All those, I don't pump iron, I am iron. I love some of the excerpts that are coming out about the interview with, he was asking Hasbullah, you watch cartoons? He said, no, I'm an adult. And Caleb is, well, I like the movie Cars. He was like, well, that's probably because your brain ain't fully developed.
Yeah, yeah, I think the pump iron thing, I will give them credit. Like, I guarantee you Caleb probably came up with that because he's just a genius. And he was like, hey, because they made a deal with Hasbullah. Like, they made all merch. So obviously with image and likeness and shit, he's probably going to get a cut. And he knew exactly what would sell. So he was like, let's fucking say this and then say
Speaking
this.
of which, I've been looking at the Barstool merch, and I cannot make my mind up which hoodie I'm going to get. I don't know if it's the one where, like, they're riding and Hasbullah is just riding back freaking out. Or if it is the I Am Iron one. I don't know. I might just have to get both.
Yeah, that's what. As soon as they dropped, I spent a little too much money on all the merch. I bought like each T-shirt, and like I didn't buy a hoodie, a Hasbulla hoodie, but I got the sticker and I got a poster, and I think whenever I do like set up like a little office in the spare bedroom, I'm gonna put that fucking poster up.
That's a good idea. I might just get a poster and then just get a shirt or a hoodie of the other. But again, it's hard to decide which one. They're all golden.
Yeah, I think and it was a very good interview. Like the Glenny Balls lookalike as a translator, and I don't know if you listen to the Dave Portnoy show, but Caleb went on there and he was like, so I had to find a translator, and I told our hiring team, like, hey, find me a translator that looks like Glenny Balls. And they're like, we can't hire based on their looks. He's like, okay, well, give me a list of all these translators. And he went through to see like if there was any like kind of bigger guy, and he was like, yep, him.
But, the whole thing, just with some of the build up promo videos that they released, is like that. The best one was like an 11-second clip where they start out on the beach, and then like Hezbollah, they're swapping hands, and he gets him in the face. And, the ice cream, when he's trying to get the ice cream.
Yeah. And I think that was like an underrated part too. Like Hezbollah thought the ice cream, like he just instantly made it for him when it's supposed to be for, well, in this case, the translator or Glenny Balls, and he just decided it was for him. Like he just took the fucking ice cream. Like he is a menace. I think the interview was very good. It was very well thought out, and I thought it would be a little more. I think that's like the only like downplay on it, because you had those clips like them and the sand buggies, or the dune buggies. Like that clip is so fucking good. Like I need more. And he did tweet out like a behind the scenes thing today, where him like whistling, and I don't know if you've seen the retweet or not. But you know how they're all mic'd up, and Hezbollah was like messing with it, and he like, yeah.
Said R.I.P. to the sound guy.
Yeah. So I hope they do drop like a behind the scenes like full episode, because they have to have so much footage. He went out there for like 5 days or something. So
yeah,
I hope they do something like that. And Caleb did say, obviously the language barrier is a thing, so I can't really have my normal satire and my jokes. So I mean, it was kind of more of a serious interview, but it was perfect.
Yeah, and for those interested, it's called Sunday Conversations,
Sunday Conversation, but it's like an ice cream sundae, so it's like SUNDAE, Sunday Conversation.
And it is beautiful. It's one of my I'm a huge fan of Barstool, and if anyone listening or watching, they cover sports galore, and they also very good pop culture. But Caleb is definitely one of my favorite people on the team.
Yeah, it's so crazy to see how far Barstool's come. Like when I first heard of them in like middle school, and that's when I first like downloaded like their first app on my fucking, I don't know, Android slide phone, and just reading the blogs and stuff, and like it was just all locker room, like kind of like locker room talk, or just people give their thoughts on this crazy shit that happened in sports, and then it developed kind of more into pop culture, internet videos and shit like that. Mm-hmm. But now they're branched out so far, so like they have like the TikTok generation, like they have that, they have like women's gossip, like Chicks in the Office, all the way like to golf, foreplay, like they taken over. Barstool Outdoors. Daddy. Well, yeah, Caller Daddy's a fucking massive one. They have Barstool Outdoors, and they cover like hunting, fishing, all that stuff. They're so like they branch out, and basically if you have any kind of interest, there's a fucking either a podcast or some type of content that Barstool puts out.
And that's one thing that I'm hoping here is like just California dreaming is eventually take Porch Talk up to that level. Is I think we do a fairly good job. Our main thing is music here, and we do sports, but just to be able to branch out and take things that way, or even if it's helping people get to where they want to go, I'd be satisfied with that. But I just LLC'd this bad boy earlier this year, and so like it's slowly picking up steam, and like with people like Sid and everyone helping me out in the background, helping me out with the website, and we got a record coming out. We got the merchandise. We still have the Ukraine thing up. So I mean, we're trying to make a dent. We just don't have quite that following, and like Barstool wasn't made overnight.
Definitely not. They started off as a fucking newspaper, and they even It should be free now. But there's the Barstool documentary, like on how it all started and stuff like that. And it's tremendous. Like they have different, famous athletes and famous people, like how they first heard of Barstool and whatnot. But they literally started as a fucking newspaper, and they put out their bets or like who they would take in bets in a newspaper. There was like 3 or 4 writers, but they would all write under like a bunch of different names to make it seem like there was more people working for them. Like it's bananas.
Yeah. Well, dude, anything else to cover with Hashbullah or Barstool before we move on?
I think
it's appropriate to move on to North Carolina Barstool because they officially buried Coach K.
Yeah, he's dead. I think, well, for the Hasbullah thing real quick, so it was either Caleb or Barstool's official Instagram, they posted a clip of the interview, and what's his name? Abdu Robic or whatever is the other Hasbullah's like arch nemesis. Yeah, he put like a bunch of clown like emojis and stuff like that. So I think only a fair follow up to that interview would be to get him and just see what he has to say, because he speaks English. So I'm sure there wouldn't be too much of a language barrier. But
the thing about that though, he's not the prince.
No, he's not.
But it is only fair. It is only fair.
Yeah.
But as far as like notoriety, it was Zbula first, right? And
Abdu.
And so it's almost like to me that Abdu is kind of rolling off of Hashbullah's coattails.
Yeah. So I remember like that. I don't know who it was, a UFC fighter. He came, he gave him a hook, and then he ran away. That was like the first video that I think I remember ever seeing, and it was probably like a year or two.
Was it DC?
No, this is like in Dagestan versus like someone. I don't think it was Khabib, but it was someone big fucking Dagestani beard. And I thought everyone laughed because it's like, oh, a little kid just fucking smoked this dude.
And turns out it's not a kid.
Yeah, it turns out it's not. And then that whole like beef with him and Abdu, and that the kick thrown around the world, or the kick heard around the world in that press conference, just really lit things on fire for Hezbollah.
Yeah. So Barstool, North Carolina did a great job of making up merchandise. I want to get one of those. I never was a fan of Coach K or the Duke program. It's probably going to be similar to the Nick Saban thing at the University of Alabama for a lot of people. And, I'm sure a lot of people would want Saban to go out and ruin his legacy, so to speak, such as that.
Yeah.
On the L.
Yeah, they that famous clip of Coach K like having a stroke on the court, and like he just like he falls and he just rolls over. Like it's literally a GIF. It's so funny because they put it into a T-shirt, and so it's like a big square, and there's just 4 boxes, and it's just the evolution of him like going down and then laying sideways on the court in fetal position. It's so fucking funny. And just to have like your arch nemesis in North Carolina not only beat you in your last home game, but to beat you in the Final Four, the first time they've ever met in March Madness. People don't like it. You can't write it any better. If you're a North Carolina fan, you can't write it any better.
Oh yeah, that's infamy. This is one of the greatest seasons of their history of basketball, no doubt.
Yeah, now they've like North Carolina officially owns Duke. There's no doubt about it. And like I don't like Coach K because he's so like he's an egomaniac. It's unbelievable. Like even like after the game, he went up to one of the North Carolina players and he like gave him a weird belly pat. And
that
he
was
like
weird.
And he was like, "You're my player of the year." Like, dude, there's 50 cameras around. Like, if you really want to like make a connection with someone, you're gonna do it with like nobody around and go in and shake. And then he gave him a weird left handshake. It was fucking, I don't know.
Yeah, the whole thing, like building up of like him announcing his retirement, going into March Madness, the whole thing, he really began to really make it about himself a whole lot instead of making it about the university or about the teams or previous teams or just the legacy. No, yeah. It was totally about him.
Yeah, it's a me show. Like as a coach, as big as he was, like announcing you're gonna retire before the season, knowing everyone's gonna get down and suck your dick every fucking game, or like every away game, basically. It's just a look at me. I don't like that. Especially from a coach when you're supposed to, put your players in the spotlight and like, rise your players up. I don't know. I don't like that.
Yeah, it was a weird way of. I mean, I'll remember that as his legacy forever. It's just the way that he went out, and just with the way that North Carolina done him. And rock on. So, I mean, the final game is tonight. Who do you like?
I like North Carolina a lot.
Me too.
I think they're rolling. They have the the height behind them. Kansas is very fucking good. And I mean, Kansas could probably like win easily, but I don't think that the hype that North Carolina has is gonna slow down, and I think they're gonna feed into that.
Yeah, and just as Alabama, they got put out immediately by Notre Dame, and then Auburn, they got put out by Ohio
Miami,
State.
I think.
Oh, Miami, that's right. And then Arkansas went a little bit further than I believe everyone else thought, because LSU were they one and done, and like all the SEC teams went out real quick. None of them made it past 32, but hopped on that North Carolina bandwagon as the bracket started coming down, and like you kind of saw how the cards are going to fall, and especially now.
Yeah,
definitely going to have to get some of that merchandise with them.
Oh yeah,
just go ahead and put him in his grave.
Yep, there was someone made a GIF or whatever. They photoshopped the Will Smith slap. Hey, buddy, and they put the the Ramsey's head, or the North Carolina mascot's head on Will Smith, and Coach K's head on fucking Chris Rock. He goes up and slaps.
The slap heard around the world one more time.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't really bother with the Grammys. I was happy for Mississippi. We had Kingfish and also Cedric Burnside. They both brought home a Grammy, blues genres. Other than that, I really didn't care. Grammys, and even the slap heard around the world. That'll be something that I kind of monitor from social media, and like every now and then you'll have something like the slap, but it's few and far between. But every now and then you'll have those, like you said on the last episode, it's one of those internet moments to where like everyone on Twitter or everyone on social media is just, they're in this moment together, and it's not something that you can go back and watch the next day and it be the same.
Right.
But a lot of times you're waiting on nothing.
Yeah, I started watching it. I maybe watched it for maybe 10 minutes last night. And I think I even put out a tweet like before it even started or right when it started. And I was like, yeah, so we're all watching this together just because in case anything happens.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know that Trevor Noah was hosting. Like, nothing against him. Like, he makes a lot of good points on his show, like, about stuff going on in the world and stuff like that. I don't think he's funny. So I don't know. I just couldn't sit there for 3 hours watching him.
That was, when I was coming up out of high school, and even when I was in college, I used to love that show with Jon Stewart.
Yeah, the Tonight Show, or not Tonight Show, the one on Comedy Central, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trevor Noah took over the reins, and it never was a good fit, because I always thought that Jon Stewart was the best in the business when it came to a show like that. Even like your Stephen Colbert or Fallon or Seth Meyers, none of those guys really match up to back with Jon Stewart back in his prime, in my opinion. He was really good with his jokes, man.
Yeah. So instead of watching the Grammys, I threw on night 2 of WrestleMania, which
did not disappoint.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so I was telling you before we got rolling, it's like when I was a kid, particularly my mother, she was fairly peculiar about what my brother and I watched on television. So wrestling was one of those things, like, go to Walmart and I see like a NWO shirt, and she's like, no, you can't get that. And I was like, all my friends are wearing them. But even like the school I went to, you really couldn't wear like wrestling gear. It was kind of like that. It's almost like wearing a punk rock T-shirt at that point.
Yeah.
You really couldn't do it at my high school. But and then I'm starting to watch wrestling like over the past couple of years, and I'm really getting into it. And it's not from the side of wrestling is fake. Okay, next time you and I get together, let me suplex you, and you tell me how fake it is, right?
Right.
Like, yes, it's all rehearsed, it's all choreography. But
it's like, entertainment. People forget it's entertainment.
These are 250 plus pound giants who are able to just do all this, and I love it, like off the top rope or just super athletes, man.
Yeah,
and it is like it's a male soap opera, but it is highly entertaining.
Yeah, I think the first night might have been better. Was that you said it was free for everyone on Peacock? Okay.
Yeah, which WrestleMania usually in the past it was $100, but now
yeah, the
it's on.
fucking pay-per-views.
Yeah, and now it's on Peacock. You just have to have a subscription to Peacock. What is that, $4.99 a month?
Yeah, something like that.
So
yeah,
but like in the past, Saturday night would be the free night. It's the prelims or whatever. It's kind of like the free fights for the UFC for the card gets going.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. Well, lately, I don't know, maybe the past 10 years, I'll try to start watching like the Royal Rumble because like usually there's always an old wrestler that comes out.
Mm-hmm.
It gets a loud pop, and then I'll throw something on here and there like Raw, SmackDown. It's not ever like I'm gonna start watching at the beginning. Like I'll just be sitting there on the TV, and then fucking Raw is on. Okay, let me throw it on. And I'm usually scrolling my phone, and then I'll see someone. It's like, oh, he's still here. He's still here. But yeah, and then I'll always watch WrestleMania, and I think the first night was better just because of Stone Cold's match, and I would be 100% honest, I cried like a little bitch at the end because he's one of my all-time favorites, top 5, top 3 easily. So that was
I like going back and watching the Ric Flair or Macho Man or Hulk Hogan, or one of my favorite Twitter followers is Iron Sheik.
Yeah. The Iron Sheik's a great Twitter follow.
So if you're unfamiliar with that, he pretty much tells you what you can do every day, all day.
I gotta look this up real quick. WWE documentaries on wrestlers. There was a very good, not Beyond the Mat. That's what it is. It's called Biography, WWE Legends. And like here they have Hulk Hogan, Steve Austin. The Stone Cold one was fucking great. And then they go like into their lives and stuff, and they basically tell you their whole story. I think it aired last year or the year before. And it's awesome to watch all those old films or just old footage. But I grew up, to basically my start of watching WWE. I grew up watching it just because like I have an older brother, so naturally you just watch what they watch. And same thing with my older cousins. Like my uncle had a black box, and so we'd always get all the paper. Then they were pay-per-views, so we'd always get them free, and we'd all go over there and watch all the pay-per-views back then. And went to a couple events with my dad. And I'll never forget when John Cena was like really big. He had like the spinner belt and shit. I had like a replica spinner belt, had his fucking t-shirts and shit. Nice. And we went, and he's from Massachusetts, and he was doing an autograph signing. So I went with my stepmom. We waited for fucking so long in this long ass line. And we get to like these doors inside of, like, we were outside all the way into like the whatever building. Get inside, we're in this hallway, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, he has to go something, whatever. And we bought tickets. You had to buy tickets to get an autograph, which is whatever. And all I wanted was a fucking, like, literally a picture of him with the title signed, and he just left. So I was just that was the point.
Nothing.
Yeah, and that was the point where I kind of was like, oh, fuck this. And but yeah, and I kind of kept watching, but just that whole Attitude Era, like that was like my upbringing into like the newer generation. It was so good. And I don't think, no disrespect to the wrestlers now at all, but I don't think anything could top, the 90s into the mid-thousands WWE era.
And I don't think I've had several wrestling fans on the show in the past, and that's what they always reflect back to is the 90s. It's that was the wrestling era. I will say, like, you do have some of the guys, and they were on WrestleMania, like AJ Styles. Mm-hmm. It's the typical thing that anyone would say about anyone who is a great wrestler. He could wrestle a broomstick and make it look good.
Yeah, met him at an airport in Atlanta. He had a black hat.
He is a Georgia boy.
Yeah, and like long straight hair, and I could tell by his and I like kind of gave him a little thing.
Is it the phenomenal one?
Yeah, and then my LT, we were flying for somewhere, and he's like, "Yo, that's AJ Styles." I was like, "What?" And I gave a closer look, and I went up to him. I was like, "AJ Styles," and he kind of like gave a little, look up, and I was like, "Hey man, don't want to bother you. Just say I appreciate your work." He was like, "Oh, thanks, man." Shook his hand. I didn't want to make a scene.
Yeah,
but that was kind of cool, and he, just put his head back down on his phone.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine like being famous and being in airports and like fan freakouts. That would be the absolute worst.
Yeah, fuck that.
And then like one freakout probably leads to like zombie horde of people, right?
A swarm, yeah. And that's what Bert Kreischer, like after the show, like there was maybe 5 or 6 of us waiting for him. Excuse me. And someone kind of got loud, and he's like, "Keep it down, keep it down." I was like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah, don't ruin this for us.
Yeah, and then someone else, like, because we were at the back of the building, and then there's a street, and we're on that like corner, and down the street there's a fucking bar, and there's so many people there, and someone else got loud, and I was like, "Shut up!" Before he fucking just goes away on us and ruin this whole fucking not event, but like a little meet and greet,
a little after party, yeah.
Yeah. But I think to go back to WWE and like WrestleMania, like Stone Cold's performance was unreal, and Kevin Owens,
Pat McAfee.
Yeah, Pat McAfee too.
That's great.
Stone Cold's match, like with Kevin Owens, like Kevin Owens did a phenomenal job selling it too. Like Stone Cold's older, yeah, he can't do a lot of the same things, but it takes two, especially in that realm of wrestling. Like
Kevin Owens is great in the ring. To be a bigger guy like that, he's very athletic, and he does a great sell. And he's been a heel type guy for as long as I can remember now.
Yeah.
And he's a great heel. Like AJ Styles has been a heel for like 2 years. Horrible heel. He's just a good guy. Like it's like he can't act good like a heel.
Yeah. Yeah, like just like those old, like even me and my buddy, like Perk Angle, we call him Perk Angle instead of Kurt Angle, because he used to do like fucking 4 or 5 Perk 30s and go into the ring and be all fucked up. Like even going back to those days, like Eddie Guerrero, stuff like that. And I remember when you said you just started watching a few years ago.
Yeah.
So there was a wrestler. Hold on. Stop. There was a wrestler, Chris Benoit, who was awesome. Just this animal. And a report came out he passed away. Sad, very sad. And they did a whole thing for him, like all the athletes were on the stage and like in memory of Chris Benoit, whatever. I remember crying because of it. And then like a day later, it was like a murder-suicide. Like he killed his wife and he killed his kid, and then he committed suicide. It was roid rage. He just fucking snapped.
Whoa.
And and it was like the WWE was like, oops, like we didn't know that it was all that. Like we wouldn't have fucking, did it in memory of Chris Benoit type shit. Yeah, there's a bunch of, documentary or a few documentaries that are really good on it too.
This,
same thing with the Eddie Guerrero stuff.
I think the Hardy brothers are insane.
Oh my God, yeah. I think they were like kind of like the first realm of like backyard wrestlers. Like they're from fucking North Carolina, a bunch, couple country boys just doing shit in their yard and making videos, and they ended up making it. Like, and they're still fucking doing it, which is insane.
Yeah, and like, is it Chris that's got the neck problems and he's still rolling hard, or is it the other brother?
It's Matt and Jeff Hardy.
Yeah,
Jeff Hardy is like the skinny.
Well, Matt's the one that's got the neck injuries, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Matt. Yeah,
and he's also the crazier one.
Yeah. Jeff is like the high flyer. Yeah, they're both crazy, but like Jeff is like the high flyer. He's skinny. He has like, they both have long hair, but he has all the tattoos done up and shit. And like now his newer thing, like he paints eyeballs over his eyelids, so it's like kind of cool.
Yes, it's pretty insane.
Yeah, it's cool looking.
I think one of my favorite matches, like I don't know if you got to catch it, you probably did if you swapped it off the Grammys fairly fast, was Johnny Knox won the Jackass Crew.
Oh yeah.
I'm blanking on who they fought.
I don't know the guy's name either. I didn't recognize him.
It popped in my head earlier. But anyway, it was funny because I mean this ain't Johnny Knoxville's first time. And so they're digging out props And then next thing you know, here comes party boy Chris Pontius. And, he's got his breakaway Adidas pants on, and he's got the shirt. He's like, and I'm watching it with my buddy. He's like, this is family television. He's not going to rip his clothes off. And I was like, oh, yes, he is.
Yeah.
And then 5 seconds later, it's just.
Yep.
And it's
and then I think
boy.
Wee Man stole the whole fucking show because he body slammed fucking whoever the guy's name is.
Yeah, sorry about blanking on that, but
you're good.
Something Amos, or no, that's not it. I knew the guy's name starts with an S. I know that, but yeah, Wee Man really stole the show. So the opponent shoved Chris Pontius underneath the stage, and he's digging up underneath for props. And next thing you know, here comes Wee Man crawling out the bottom of the ring and just opens up a can on the guy.
Yeah, I think Robbie Fox put a picture up on Twitter. So that's Hulk Hogan, body slamming fucking Andre the Giant, and then it says upgrade. Then it's a picture of Wee Man. It's so good.
That's perfect.
It's so good.
That's perfect.
Yeah, and then like the rat trap, and then the big, the hand slap, and just like the natural fucking jackass pranks, or even like the table that the dude got thrown through with all the rat traps on it.
Traps.
That one
brought out a taser.
Yeah, the taser was good. Oh my god, I forget the name, but when he brought out the taser, it reminded me. I don't know if it was in the WWE or WCW or what, but there was a steel cage match. This is back in the day, like late 90s, mid 90s maybe. And these two guys hated each other. I think one of them broke the other guy's neck or whatever, and then they had like legit broke his neck. Then they had a rematch after he like rehabbed and stuff. And it was like a Hell in the Cell or steel cage or whatever. And this dude brought a fucking taser with him. That's like it wasn't a prop. It was a real taser. He's like, I'm going to hurt this motherfucker. And he got him up on top of this, steel cage or Hell in the Cell, and he fucking tased him, and the dude fell off and like got really hurt. And he was like, yep, didn't like the guy. Fuck him. I forget who it was, but it's a fucking crazy story.
That's wild. So yeah, boys and girls, sometimes wrestling isn't fake.
Yeah, no. That is New Jack. Here it is. That time New Jack almost killed a guy. That's what it was. He got his skull cracked. He didn't break his neck.
Oh, man.
He cracked his skull, and then he like brought a taser out, and yeah.
It was back like, I think The Rock during that era was the ending of it, back when they would take the razor blades and just kind of, just
slice their heads. Yeah, I think that was probably like late 90s, early thousands maybe, or even the mid thousands. Because you look at Triple H's head, even Ric Flair, they got so many of those, scars on their forehead. I don't know what happened, but I think your camera just went out.
I had a call.
Oh, you did? Okay. But yeah, they all have like that scarring on their forehead just from, the razor blade, whatever. And that brings me to that movie, The Wrestler, with what's his name? Who's the guy that was in Iron Man 2? Mickey Rourke. Have you ever seen The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke?
Uh-huh.
Great fucking movie. And that just reminded me because he taped the razor blade in his wrist, and then he took it off and cut himself. Hey, buddy.
Well, dude, anything else to do with WrestleMania? In my opinion, like I haven't been watching for that long. That was one of the best ones that I've seen in a while. And
they did a great job.
I can't go back to the glory days, but
Yeah, I think, or even you mentioned it briefly, like Pat McAfee. Like Pat McAfee's match was unreal, which was the co-main event of last night's, and he came out, Seven Nation Army chant, did his thing, and he's just a freak athlete. And I think one of the clips he even said he was like, I think I was born to do something like this. And I truly think he was too. Like he's very good with his words, like on the mic. And then to be that kind of athlete that can do that shit, like I think, he did find his niche, and like he was a phenomenal punter, made the fucking NFL. Got out, did his thing.
Yeah, so he was at the Indianapolis Colts. What did he play? 5 seasons before he retired?
I think, 6, 7 seasons maybe.
And then he started the Pat McAfee show, which is just an electric show. If anyone hasn't checked that out, just go to YouTube after you get done here and check him out, because he's so electric, and you could he's an entertainer. And on top of that, because of the Pat McAfee show is he commentates for wrestling, and then seeing him in the ring and just absolutely murder it was one of my favorite parts.
Yeah,
and all the gifs and all the memes that are coming out, like him getting Stone Cold stunned by Stone Cold, and
or even him like pouring the like he was knocked out, but he was like pouring the beer on his mouth, on the ground.
Did you see him like him and his wife on the plane ride, and he's just wasted?
No, I didn't. That's fine.
He's like, "We're flying out of Dallas, and I love you, girl," and he just.
That's funny. Yeah, he did a phenomenal job last night for his first, in-ring WrestleMania event.
Yeah. I mean, I could definitely see him as he's such a great color commentator for wrestling. I could see him color commentating for the UFC one day. I could even see him being like a Bruce Buffer style. I could see him being the guy in the ring. Like a hype man. Time. Yeah.
Yep.
He could be any of those because, like you said, not only is he just a top-notch athlete, he's a great entertainer.
Yeah, and like I mentioned before, like he got so over on the crowd, like that pop, it was unreal, and he just kept going the whole match. It was awesome to see.
He might have had one of the best pops of that night, like Triple H, like bringing his boots out and retiring. He had a really good pop. I'm sure Stone Cold, I didn't see that one live, but I'm sure he had a great pop.
Yeah, yep.
But yeah, Pat McAfee had a great one. Oh, you want to move on to golf?
Yep.
All right, so we got Tiger Woods, pretty cut and dry, said he's gonna play it by ear.
Yeah, game time decision. Yeah, but he's been there. I think since Friday of last Friday. Just walking the course. I think he showed up, played the back nine, see how it was, hitting the range, stuff like that. Seeing how the leg's holding up. Because for people who don't really follow it too much, Augusta National is very, very, very hilly. So, a lot of ups and downs, slopes, like sideways, this and that. So it would probably be a lot for any normal person to walk, let alone someone who's coming off a fucking, compound fracture injury of their leg.
Have you been to Augusta?
I haven't, no.
Okay.
Oh. I was, for people who don't know, I was stationed there almost 5 years, and they do a raffle. They have 100 tickets. For Thursday, they have 100 tickets for Friday. Same thing, Saturday, Sunday. And all active duty could put their names in, the raffle to try to get their name drawn. And I was deployed the first 2 years, and the second or the last 2 years I was there, my name didn't get drawn. And it was, you only have to pay $100 for it. So, like, if you win, then you have to go pay $100 and you pick up your badge and you can go. So a lot of people, got lucky, and I wasn't one of them, which sucked.
Hate to bring that up, bub.
No, you're good. I was talking to my wife about that earlier. I was like, fuck, man, seeing all these videos, the Georgia, the fucking commercials and shit, like, it brings a tear to my eye. Cause it's like, fuck, man, I was so close to going, and that's probably the best opportunity I fucking had to go, because tickets are so goddamn expensive. And she's like, no, don't worry about it. Later on, we'll save up some money. Go. I was like, yeah, one day.
Yeah.
One day.
When I was living down in Mobile, it was a pretty good group of us that was into golf, and that was on their bucket list, and they had been into golf forever. And I had probably only been into golf for like 5 years, and they were just, that's all they ever talked about was just, I don't care if I ever get to play it, I just want to go to Augusta. Yeah,
if anyone follows golf, they'll tell you that that's a bucket list thing of theirs, is to go to Augusta National and just, like, I you could see it from the street, like Magnolia Lane. Like, you can look down it. You can't take your phone out and take a picture, but you can look down it. And every time I would drive past, I would just fucking, I would rubberneck hard.
Breaking your neck.
Yeah.
And so we got to fight. We got to fight for the girls. If you don't have anything else to add on
that. I personally, I think Tiger's going to play. There's a lot of talk. It's good for golf. I would be very surprised if he said, no, I'm not going to play. But I did notice, and a few other people have too, or have noticed as well, but he's a big Nike guy, sponsored by Nike, has been for fucking ever. So, Nike shoes or Nike cleats, golf cleats are, his go-to. He has his own signature line, Tiger Woods shoes, for the longest fucking time. But during the practice rounds, even today, he's been wearing FootJoys. It's a little different. I don't know if it's like, a contractual thing, or he went to Nike and said like, hey, I found these golf shoes that helped me a lot, like in my leg and, even his fucking back. So I don't know if he went to them and said, hey, like, look, in order for me to play, like, I'm wearing these, and kind of left it at that. And they're like, yep, no problem. Cause he's fucking Tiger Woods, But I thought that was weird. And if it was more of a comfort thing or if it was a money thing, I don't know. It's just that's stuff I like to watch.
That's kind of some inside baseball, cause like paying attention to the guy's shoes, right?
Yep.
But I mean, that really is telling for someone like Tiger Woods, because as long as he's been in the game, he's always got that Nike hat on and like Nike apparel.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good on the Tiger thing. I fucking hope he plays, and I hope he can, competes. It's so good for golf. It's like, how can you not root for, a comeback story after another comeback? So yeah, he's made mistakes in his life, but like that comeback is just, it's hard to root against him. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely, man. Same. And just comeback story. Like you said, although he's made some mistakes, sure, he's wrecked a couple of cars and all this and that, driving under influence. But when he gets back on his game and he's playing again, you can't help but root for the guy.
Right.
I mean, we used to have the golf games named after him,
No shit. The greatest golf games ever. Tiger Woods like 02 or 06 or whatever. Mm-hmm. PS2. Hold on, I'm gonna let these dogs out real quick. They're getting rowdy.
Go for it.
Want to go outside? Come on.
Hey guys, while we are in a break, I wanted to tell y'all that I do have the festival this weekend at my house in Kennedy, Porch Fest 2022. So if you would like to come out to the festival, please do. It is a totally free event. I've got musicians such as Abe Partridge, Shake It Like a Caveman, Taylor Hollingsworth, Janet Simpson, Katie Mulvihill, King Kai and the Heretics, the Groove Johnson, that's my blues band, and more. So please come out. We're gonna have some comedians, and who knows who will be there. 150, 200 people is what I'm hoping for, and hopefully y'all will be one of them. So please come. That is this Friday and Saturday, April 8th and 9th. You are back. What's up, man?
Nothing. I have my leave put in for that, so it hasn't been approved yet, but it is in pending.
Speaking of which, while I'm thinking about it, I got to go ahead and put in for the Steve-O thing. That was May 8th.
I think so. I can check real quick. May 6th, Friday.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm super stoked about that.
Yeah, I can't wait. What time is that at? 7 o'clock, May 6th, Sanger Theater in Mobile.
So what I plan to do is, like, I'll get off work in Starkville at 5, and I'll just come straight down to see y'all, and then we'll just hang out all day that Friday. And,
okay.
Or I guess, I don't know. Surely Sid's working from home still.
Yep.
And we'll hang out, and then I'll meet up and go out there. Got to get you your money too.
Oh yeah, it's fine. You can wait on it. I know you're super busy this week and got shit going on, so.
True that.
I mean, we have a month to go, so I'm not worried about it.
Right on. Well, we gotta stick up for the girls here. So
Absolutely.
we have some history with the golf course of Augusta.
Mm-hmm.
And Anna Davis, she wanted to take collegiate students to town, and she did.
Oh yeah, so this weekend it was the Augusta Women's Amateur Championship, and it doesn't get a lot of coverage just because it's amateur. Just in general, amateur golf doesn't get a lot of coverage, but then to throw the women's part in there, it's hardly going to get talked about. It sucks. It's unfortunate, whatever. But I did see this girl, Anna Davis. She's 16 years old. She won it, which is incredible for a 16-year-old to win a fucking amateur championship when you're going against college athletes. You're 16. You're a sophomore. A sophomore in high school, going up against people 6 years older than you. It's just it's awesome. And there was a post. So she uses Titleist clubs. For people who don't really follow golf, Titleist is just a brand of apparel, shoes, stuff like that. And they also make great golf clubs and probably the best golf balls in my opinion. But anyway, they posted on Facebook. They said, I could try to pull it up right here, but they basically said, congratulations to the winner of the women's amateur championship. She uses, a couple of our clubs, and instantly a thought in my mind, I was like, why the fuck wouldn't you mention who it is? Like, what? And, that kind of didn't really trigger me, but it was kind of like, what the fuck? Yeah, it says, a title at Augusta is just the beginning. Congrats to all who competed this weekend at the Augusta National Women's Amateur, including the champion who put her trust in a bag full of Titleist equipment, including Pro V1X, which is the golf ball.
That's actually the balls I like to use the most.
Yeah, same.
My golf bag is full of them. But I use TaylorMade clubs.
Yeah, I got TaylorMade irons, and I got a Cobra driver and 3-wood. TaylorMade driver. Not TaylorMade. I'm sorry. I'm talking about this Titleist. Titleist driver, Titleist wedges, and a Scotty Cameron putter, which is a Titleist brand. That's it. And they posted a picture of just a generic fucking Titleist golf ball getting teed up. I was like, what the fuck? Why not post a picture? Why not post who it is? So, I just said, promoting your own brand and including the fact that, she won the amateur, tournament using your clubs, but not one mention of her name, any pictures. Yeah, that makes sense. And I said, in quotations, yeah, her name is Anna Davis, by the way. And I also commented on the post, and basically someone said, like, with amateur status in golf, they're so picky, they can't have any sponsorships. So if they seen this post, they could have said, like, oh, maybe that's like a sponsored deal. I was like, okay. Yeah, they might pull the amateur status. I was like, all right, yeah. Girl in high school, fuck it, you don't want.
And maybe you can help me out here. It's like, just what does that amateur status mean? It's like, my knowledge of golf, it really quite literally goes to Happy Gilmore. Is like, do you have to be in the amateur league for some long to go up to pro, or you have to go pro-am?
There's a few different ways. There's like web.com tour, so like, it's a tour where you can win money, but it's like all on your own dime. You can get sponsorships, but like that's usually like the step before you go to the PGA. Some people stay there for a long time. Like one of the guys, he's a golfer. They call him Beef. I forget his real name, but big hefty guy, big beard. He went from like the web.com tour to PGA, or like he made, one of the tournaments, and he ended up winning. He became a fan favorite so quick just because, a big, unathletic looking guy, massive beard, just a bro. Then he ended up getting like an Arby's deal. He got his own sandwich and shit. Like, that's one of the ways. I don't really know too much other than that, but I just know amateur status is like like me and you could be, or can get amateur status. We just have to play a lot of golf and contact someone in not the PGA, but get a handicap established, all that shit. It just seems like a lot of work, and
so it's a lot of work just to have that amateur status, and then to lose it is like you're back to practically nothing.
Yeah,
you can't play these tournaments anymore, and da 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 da.
Yep.
And so I think you covered it, but like just with that, not only with Titleist not saying her name, or like just to go back to that course, you may have covered it. But women weren't even allowed to be members there until 2012.
Yeah. Women weren't members there until 2012, and they just Augusta, like, it's a beautiful place. It's so prestigious, and like they have like a if you dig deep into their history, you're gonna find some dark shit. Not dark shit, but like all the caddies were black, this and that. So like they could be shown as racist, this and that, and what have you. But it's just women weren't allowed to be members just up until 2012. That's 10 years ago. So, and that's well after the women's rights shit. So, and the women's amateur, I thought it was played at Augusta National, but it's not. It's at a Champions Retreat, which is like up in Martinez. It's like 20 minutes away.
Right on. I'm glad that you wanted to spotlight that. That's always good.
Yeah,
it's always
to
inspiring
recap,
the women's sports, because they're so beaten down right now.
Yeah, and I always see like a lot of things, especially it's big with the WNBA and like women's soccer and shit. Like, oh, why don't you cover our sport? We don't get paid enough. This and that. Da 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 da. and then it's like, well, you don't really bring eyes. And, they could counter back. It was like, or eyes or viewers or whatever, but they could counter back and it's like, well, you don't really promote us as much. The WNBA has gotten better with like promoting, same with like ESPN. But this just like counteracts all fucking, promotion and shit and getting their names out there. And even I went through my Facebook again and the people who posted it deleted it. They shared Tiger Woods' post, which is, the Twitter. It was a tweet. And that's basically him saying, I think it was like, I'm game time decision or whatnot. Yeah. But he said at the end, he said, congratulations to Anna Davis, who won the Augusta Women's National or Women's Amateur. But I think it was like Golf Digest or something, which is like the biggest fucking golf magazine. They, cropped his tweet and took out the Anna Davis part, like the congratulations part, and only put like, I will be heading up to Augusta. And it was like a picture of him, swinging a golf club like on the course. I was like, why the fuck would you crop that out? It literally takes more effort to crop it out than to include his whole fucking tweet.
Yeah.
Like, why not? You're trying, like, the more eyes, the better, and just the more people would read it and be like, oh, who's Anna Davis? And then they just look up Anna Davis, amateur champion. It's like, what the? Oh, she's 16? Holy shit, she played against fucking juniors and seniors in college? What the fuck? That's like, okay, get her on your radar. And then if she does make the women's PGA, then it's like, holy shit, I remember when she was 16 years old. She won the fucking amateur championship. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Well, it's just aggravating.
We got it recorded here, dadgummit. So anyway, we got it back here.
It pissed me off.
Last thing that I have, unless you have anything else, it's not really anything to spend a whole lot of time on. It just literally happened today. Today is April 4th of the 2022. Is Elon Musk is now the biggest shareholder in Twitter with a 9.2%. And so that has really had Twitter tweeting away today. And so a lot of people are curious. A lot of people are wanting to know what is going to happen with Twitter if he takes over.
It's going to be a fucking war zone, and there's going to be people saying the craziest fucking shit. It's going to be so good. That's just my opinion. It's going to be fucking glorious. People aren't going to deleting tweets. Trump's going to be back on saying crazy shit. It's just, you think it's a town hall now and people say, wild stuff. Just, he's all about free speech, and it's just, it'll be so good.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking because, a little bit before, this has been going on for about 2 weeks, is he put out 2 or 3 polls, and he would put out a poll. He was like, do you believe that Twitter is honoring their rights of services, and do you think they could do a better job with free speech? And then in the following comment, after he made the poll for people to vote on yes or no, he said, be careful with how you vote.
Wow.
And I think he did 3 polls like that. And so next thing you know, we wake up Monday morning, and I don't know if you check the stock market, but Twitter is going to stinking Pluto.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I love Elon and just the shit he has to say. He's always posting fucking fire memes.
Oh my god!
And just the fact that he was like, I think that ultimately made his decision. Like, hey, like, I really want to buy a stake, and maybe if I do buy like a majority shareholder stake, then I can have the biggest voice over this company. I don't think they'll make him the CEO or anything, but if you're the major shareholder, like,
you do have some weight to throw around.
You have a lot of weight to throw around. So I think he just wanted people's feedback to ultimately, make his decision, or, to feed his decision or help him in the decision-making process if he really wants to go through with it.
I mean, he had my way in. I weighed in on it. So.
Yeah, I love it.
And I mean, it was a huge poll. I want to say like millions of people interacted with it.
Oh, I bet.
I'll dig up that screenshot when we get off here and see if I can get it over there to you. But it was, almost verbatim of what I told you. But Elon, he's one of those kind of guys that it's kind of a love-hate thing for me. Like every now and then he does something really great. I'm like, yeah, Elon. But like it got on my nerves with the whole Dogecoin thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, he's just, I don't think he understands the magnitude of like the weight, like the words that he has to say, and like how much fluctuation he can cause. And then
I was like, dude, you literally destroyed my crypto in one tweet.
Yeah, that's just a meme to him. Like he could throw $100,000 at Dogecoin and then just be like, go buy Doge, and then it's gonna go fucking boom, and then he's gonna sell it.
Like around that time was when he went on Saturday Night Live, and everyone was thinking he goes on Saturday Night Live, they do a bit about Dogecoin, it's gonna go to $1, and what did it do? It
fucking plummeted. Yeah, he knew what he was doing, and I don't think they can't really get him with market manipulation because first of all, it's a crypto, and like second of all, like it's not insider trading. It's just him having literally the most influence on what happens. So it's just, I don't think nothing will come about it.
Well, dude, I know the game has been on for 40 minutes now. I don't have anything else to add or subtract. Do you?
Nope. I just know this weekend we got, who's it, 274 UFC. Great fucking card. What's his name's fighting? Alexander Volkanovski versus the Korean Zombie. That's the main event. Aljamain Sterling versus Peter Yan. That's the co-main event. That's 2 title fights for the featherweight and bantamweight. And then the third fight on that card is Gilbert Burns versus Hamza Chimaev. And Hamza Chimaev has a lot of fucking hype built around him right now. And this is like his first real test of who he's going to fight. So that'll be very, very fun to watch.
And just for a little drama on social media, why is McGregor LOLing at Ngannou?
I don't know. Are you thinking Kamaru Usman or are you thinking Ngannou?
I want to say it was Ngannou.
Okay, I don't know why. If it's
because I was like, y'all not even the same weight class, Bubba.
Yeah.
So it may have been Usman, but I was like, I don't even know if I'd pick that fight with your current shape. You haven't won in a long time.
Yeah.
And he's literally a crusher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I know he's been just. He'll always like have his 2 cents on what he wants to say, or if someone brings him up or says some shit about him, he's always going to clap back. Or
and he does have that clout too.
Did we go over last week the Nate Diaz, the tweet he had versus Nate, not versus Nate Diaz, but just the clapback or the roast?
Oh, let's go there again. I don't think so.
I think I said that to my dad. I gotta find it real quick. But Nate Diaz was talking some type of shit. I forget exactly what he was saying. I'm gonna search in my photos. But anyway, the comeback was like, I gotta find this Connor Nate tweet. It is so fucking good, and it's a great clapback. If you're pondering whether to shut this off or not, you're gonna want to fucking wait because it's so good. Trust me. Where is this fucking tweet? But Nate said something, and then Connor clapped back and was like, yeah. And that's what it was. It was like Jared Leto playing someone, and then like Wolverine playing someone like as their career. Not as their career, but like in a movie. Like who they would want to play each other in a movie. And Nate commented and was like, oh, you would have, so-and-so play you in a movie. And then Connor's like, you're going to have Walter White's son play you in the fucking movie. And it's like, and then he posted a picture of him in the crutches and shit.
I think you sent that to me. I remember that now.
Oh my God. It's so fucking funny. And it's like, just if you watch Breaking Bad, like you'll know how his Walter White's son like talks like that. Here it is. Wolverine could play my part. This is Nate Diaz talking. He says, Wolverine could play my part so we can see him beat Jared Leto's ass. That'd be fun, right? And then he tagged Connor. And then Connor said, the kid that played Heisenberg's son in Breaking Bad is who will play you. Virtually identical. And it's a fucking picture of him. It's so fucking funny. That was a mega clapback. Just, it's true because like Nate Diaz talks like his brain is mush. And, that kid is, in the show, he's slow. I don't know if he's slow in real life, but he just, talks with like an impediment. So it was on point. Yeah, it was on point. That's an all-time tweet.
It's a framer. Oh, man, you want to plug your socials, anything about the Cornerman before you step out?
Trying to set up something with an interview for my first comeback show. I got everything else lined up, but I just kind of want to come back, at least with something pretty good, because we had John Anik on that one time, so I need something to at least come close to that. But you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jared Kenney, both same. Very active on Twitter.
And it's a great way to stay involved in not only the MMA, like anything pop culture or sport related. Jared's he's gonna have his finger on it.
Oh yeah. Did you want to mention the what's it called, the Twitter Spaces? If you wanted to do something like that for your community.
Dude, that community is so small right now. I could, like, the Porch Talk. Yeah, go follow Porch Talk. I think it's Porch Talk _101 on Twitter. We would like to start doing spaces, especially if you're lined up with this show and you like what we're doing. We could get on there midweek and we could kind of have a conversation. Y'all could chime in. What are things that we miss? What are things you agree or disagree with? What are some things that you would like for us to cover the next time we get together? Because we've been pretty good here lately. I think this is 6 weeks straight or something to that measure. Mm-hmm. And I've really enjoyed it, and I mean the folks have too. They're tuning in, so and we had a little bit of a clap back with the Leah Thomas, and then a little clap back with the Will Smith remarks. But it is what it is. And I was good to get that feedback. It was like, you shouldn't call Will Smith a cuck. Well, he is.
Sorry, it's true.
So I'm doubling down on that, boys and girls. But Twitter Spaces. Go follow Porch Talk 101. We might set that up to where, like, maybe on a Wednesday or Thursday evening, we get together and we just try to talk about what's been going on for the week as we get ready to take notes for this is a Monday night show. And when we get the YouTube up to 100 views, we'll figure out how to make this thing live so you can be right there with us on Monday nights.
Yeah, I'm open to feedback too. So if you want to shoot me a DM, I'll respond right away. If you want to talk shit, say I'm fucking fat, I don't give a shit. I'll reply. I'll talk. I'll shoot the shit.
Yeah, they for the most part they're kind. It was like, I just didn't really appreciate you calling Will Smith a cuck, and
It's like, why though? That's like,
I was like, it's not like you personally know the guy,
right?
It's like,
it sounds
like you get in trouble. Yeah, you get in trouble in a dark alley. It sounds like Will Smith's not going to be there, bub.
Right. It sounds like someone trying a cuck trying to defend a cuck. Like, I don't like that word because I like watching my wife or my husband get fucked. Like that. That's just my opinion. That's my mouth. So if you want to shoot at me, you shoot at me. I don't give a fuck.
There we go. Or you're welcome to come on the show and make a defense of him if you will. But I don't think there's it was literally the entanglement. She confessed it, and he's still with her. So that's all I have.
Yep.
All right, dude. Well, take care. Until next time. Peace out.
Later, homie.